everyone, welcome back. Well, I am back, as you can see, at home base after 11 days in Jamaica, which started out as 7, and I'll give you a real quick story. We went for 7 days to Ocho Rios, stayed at the Couple San Souci Resort. On the 7th day, we left to go to the airport. Before we left, there were other people going to the airport, and their flights were being canceled right and left, but our flight was fine. On the way to the airport, I started getting text messages from Delta saying our flight was delayed 1 hour. A little later on, I got another text message, delayed another 30 minutes. I got a third text message that was delayed over 2 hours. We get to the airport to find no one there at any counter but the Delta people. Delta was hanging on for dear life, hoping they wouldn't have to cancel the flight, but they finally did. The reason is lightning hit the control tower at the Kingston airport, which affected the Montego Bay airport because there wasn't communication with flights, so they canceled all flights. The other airlines decided to do this early, and Delta did it rather late. We were there about 30-45 minutes, and they finally canceled. So we immediately scrambled, got on the phone, made some calls, found a representative of couples, and went back to the resort. The soonest we could fly out was Wednesday, so we got 4 more days out of it. We do have travel insurance, and we're waiting to see how that pans out, but at least we were there in what I would call paradise for 4 more days. So we went for 7 and we got 11. But we're back now. Hopefully you saw my review I did of the CAO Anaconda while I was there. But today we're reviewing Todos Los Dias by Steve Saka and the Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. Now, this particular cigar we're reviewing is the Toro, and here it is, a 6x52. Really nice looking, clean silver and black bands. There is the density. Has a nice feel in the hand, I gotta tell you. 2 bands, main and one at the foot, that simply says Todos Los Dias. Now, according to Steve, this is a Nicaraguan Puro, limited production. And in his words, Todos Los Dias roughly translates in his Spanglish language to all the days. He sort of admits he butchers the Spanish language, so that's his translation and meaning behind the name Todos Los Dias. Now it's reported to be a rather strong cigar. Steve said this is for the seasoned cigar smoker. Available in 4 sizes: half Churchill, Robusto, Toro, and double wide Bellicoso. I'm doing the Toro today, ranging in price from $10.45 to $12.45. As I said, it's a Nicaraguan Puro, and it is made in the Joya de Nicaragua factory. So that's sort of the long and the short of it. Why don't we get right to it and see what it's all about? There's been a lot of talk about it, and I've managed to score this. So here we go. The Todos Los Dias from the Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. Toro, 6x52. In preparation for the full-bodiedness, I have had lunch. I have had my apple, and I'm ready to go. Now, this is a well-made cigar, very nice looking, a dark brown and nary a vein to be seen. Look at that, how clean it is. Has a nice little semi-oily wrapper, has a little bit of shine to it. Now, I have to remove this band at the foot. Typically, they come off easy. Simply unwraps and comes right off. No Problemo. All right. Before going on vacation, I exchanged out my Zycar for a new one, and it is, ooh, baby, razor sharp. Love it. Sent my other one off to Zycar to be sharpened or replaced, their choice. First flavors I'm getting are nice pronounced orange citrus with a little vegetable rootiness to it. Nice cream, a touch of brown sugar, and a massive amount of black pepper, which I rate at around a 9. It is very intense. It's a very coarse ground, heavy black pepper. A touch of black coffee at the base. Those are the initial flavors. As far as the power of the cigar, it is coming across as if it's going to be rather powerful. So it's a little early to give a strength of the cigar, but initially it has the feeling and the flavors that it's going to be quite powerful. So we'll see how it stacks up and how it progresses. Uh, I have had this previously, and the first part of the cigar is not as powerful as the last. So let's see how this one does, but that's a pretty good start. I'm about an inch and a half in, and you still have the citrus, but it's really matched or overwhelmed almost by the heavy coffee notes. The pepper is still good. It's toned down a touch. There's a little brown sugar that's more noticeable. There's still some of that vegetable rootiness to the cigar, but there is just a lot of black coffee. A little on the earthy side, but a very strong black coffee. The cigar is medium to full bodied at this point and leaning toward full. The finishes has a lot of aspects of coffee to it also, and nice lingering black pepper. So at about an inch and a half, that's where we are. The cigar is steadily, as I go, ramping up, and as you can tell from the time, in an inch and a half, I'm going very slow. If it's going to be that strong, I want to make sure I'm ready for it. Plus, you always get the best flavors by going slow. This has nice flavors to it. It's a very powerful feeling, quasi dark noted cigar with the heavy coffee notes and the massive black pepper. The black pepper is really toned down to about 7.5 to 8 on the top end now. As you remember, it started out at about a 9. So that's where we are at about an inch and a half. At or around the midpoint, the citrus now is almost, it's sort of a coin toss between it and a sweet cedar, simply because the coffee notes are so heavy. Also add unsweetened dark chocolate to the mix. There is a little brown sugar to give it sweetness, a lot of still a lot of black pepper, a lot of coffee, but there's also that unsweetened dark chocolate flavor there, which is sort of what I think I was getting on the finish earlier. The finish has a little more sweetness to it. It's almost that a little bit of the cedar, citrus, whatever you want to call it, and the dark chocolate. I'll go with dark chocolate over coffee now. and some nice lingering black pepper. Not as much as you would think, not an overabundance, but it's some. You could just about call the cigar full bodied now. I think I would. Um, the sweeter notes are enough there to make the cigar good, but there is quite a bit of dark notes now with that unsweetened dark chocolate and coffee. The brown sugar helps. It's not a lot of brown sugar, but it is enough. So at or around the midpoint, that's where we are. Well, with only about an inch and a half or so remaining, which really translates into probably an inch because you can't burn your fingers. There is that definite citrus. Before the last segment is for a flip flop and could be either one. I'm calling it a definite citrus again. Massive amounts of coffee, still black coffee. The unsweetened dark chocolate is still there. The brown sugar is still there. The vegetable type flavor, the rootiness is also still there, even though I didn't mention it previously. It has never gone away. Full bodied. Finishes back to more of that dark chocolate and lingering black pepper. Dark noted, powerful, nice flavors, even with the heavy dark notes. So really the point of me coming back was to tell you that the definite sweeter note was the orange citrus. And it's quite a sharp orange citrus, so I know that's what it is. But you only get it for a microsecond before the heavy black coffee and unsweetened dark chocolate just engulf it. Still not a bad thing, but I'm just pointing out the flavors. So that's where we are, very close to the end. So hang in there. We're going to wrap it up here in a minute. Well, we're down to the end, so let's wrap it up. Really not much change from the last segment to now, and just a little more time. But this is a full-bodied, powerful cigar. Sort of waffled between, even in the last inch, between the citrus and cedar and almost a dry cedar, and it's just hard to tell. Low brown sugar and the massive amounts of black coffee and dark chocolate. Black pepper was good in this cigar. It did tone down from their start, but still stayed quite high, around 7.5 to 8 the whole time. Finish was unchanged. Very full-bodied cigar. It started out a little sweeter and ended up a little darker. Good cigar from Steve. Definitely not something for a beginner, and I would suggest smoking it very slowly. These are not inexpensive, but probably on the upper end of affordable, and it should be on shelves now. So look for them, and it is limited release as far as it's not a massive production. For me, it was a 92. Very good cigar, very powerful. Probably not something I could have every single day, because if you smoke more than one cigar a day, this is going to take a big chunk out of it, because it's quite powerful but flavorful. Keynote word, flavorful. So there you have it. The Todos Los Dias from Steve Saka and Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust, 92.